Well, hello, Ratchets.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Matt.
I'm George.
I'm Armando.
This is our featured guest today. Alright, so welcome back, episode 2 of Ratchet Drives. So Ratchets, today we're going to talk about what to look for when buying a used car.
Today we're taking a drive up, gonna go look at a used car, probably buy a used car, hopefully. And,
Well, we're going up to buy it, but
pretty much to buy it. We've already kind of looked at it over the internet. Funny story on that in another episode, though. So you may have questions. Not a lot of people have bought new cars or used cars off of like personal buys.
right, yeah.
There's like a whole, as I discovered, a whole new or used car buying experience that it's really not all that fun, actually.
No, especially if you're trying to get a loan, make sure you have the loan situated. Matt ran into an issue with that with USAA, and it's kind of like...
Yeah, it was kind of my fault, kind of their fault. We just applied for the loan in the wrong way. We got that figured out, got the check, so that's kind of where we're at with that. But like, to start the used buying car process, you need to have money for it.
Of course.
That would be a good thing. So either if you're buying cash or if you're going through your bank or however you're buying the car, you need to make sure you have that all lined up.
Also, 1 mile, take it right, Armando, Chester, Allentown. Sorry, guys, look, for whoever commented last time, I'm not reading off a piece of paper. This is an av. But just putting that out there. None of this is scripted. We're just
No,
idiots.
absolutely
This
not.
is just real life.
This is real life. I mean, first, you gotta... The mic's falling. The mic!
Oh no! Oh
So fuck. You only got a rubber band.
no! Man.
So first, you gotta find what car you want. Do you want a big body car? Are you buying a car?
Sorry to interrupt you, George. Can I see the nav so I don't interrupt you?
Oh yeah, there you go. So you gotta figure out if you're buying a big body car, you're buying a performance car, are you buying something stock? Is this a project?
Yeah,
Does
figure
this
out what
have
you're
to
buying.
start every day to get you to work, or will it be a gamble? You know, essentially, if you're buying like an S4.
Also, look into like maintenance of the car. Let's say you pick like 5 different cars to look at. You want to look at common issues, the maintenance the car's had, the maintenance the car needs. If it's had the common issues fixed, like the car I'm looking at, the common maintenance items are the timing belt and the transmission. This car had the timing belt done like 13,000 miles or 1,300 miles ago. No, 13,000 miles ago, and the transmission was done 10,000 miles ago. So those are the huge issues that I was looking for in buying this car. I wasn't going to buy one that had those issues or hadn't had those issues fixed.
Good lord.
How many miles?
110 miles. Straight.
Let's go!
Yeah, we're driving about 4 hours away to go get this car. It's a 2001 Audi S8.
Yeah.
If you check on this channel, you will see a Ratchet Clicks episode of us showing you the process and the guy and all. But you know, check that video for that. Another thing I recommend a lot is that you go on the forums and you look up the common issues.
Absolutely.
You know, aside, like Matt said, you want to make sure they were taken care of. But
Ask for the Carfax. That's a huge one. See if the maintenance has been on Carfax.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because when I was looking at a car that was bought from a dealer, and they sent me auto check or something like that, and it gave me absolutely nothing that had to deal with the maintenance. And I called them up, and they were like, "Oh no, we don't do Carfax. We only do auto credit." So I went and looked at the car. The car was beat. It clearly hadn't had the maintenance done. It needed maintenance. So they were kind of lying about the car just to get me in the door. And then he offers me, he's like, "Oh, I got a 2000 A4 Quattro if you really want to look at that." I'm like, no, that's not the car I'm looking at.
And you know, that's like, it's a waste of your day too, especially with used cars. And if you're trying to buy
Why don't you
something,
put that backwards? So it's on top, right?
and you know, it's a waste of time if you're trying to buy something that's, let's say, a little more rare, or a car that was really expensive at first and it depreciated like a 2001 Audi S8 or my 7 Series. I mean,
Absolutely. Like the car we're driving right now, it's a 2002 BMW X5.
yes.
The E53 first generation X5. And I picked it up for $2,500 off of a guy in New York. Same way. I did the research. I really liked the car for the price, obviously. My first choice was going to be to buy a 750 Li, but when I found this deal, I cannot pass this.
Yeah.
And obviously, I had another BMW, a 530i and E60, and it has the same motor as this one, so I knew about the issues they have. And off of that, I went to take a look at the car. I really liked it. The paint was in shitty correction, which George, by the way, is a paint magician, not a detailer. Thank you for that.
No problem. I spent about 20 hours on this car fixing the paint. It was just horrendous, but we made it happen. When you're buying a used car, I think best case scenario is that you find a car that was a one owner, and that dude did all the records and kept the book, which is how my 7 Series came. I wasn't looking for a car at the time, but with the 7 Series at the time, I wasn't really looking for a daily. I was going to fix the S4 and keep driving that, which after that, I was like, fine, I'll get a daily, because once you build a car and you get it to those levels, it's a lot to deal with. You know, like 700 horsepower only sounds awesome on YouTube videos and on the internet. When you're at that power level, you really got to pay attention. But this is a conversation for another time. So, anyways, my 7 Series was a one owner car. I got it with like 160,000 miles on it, mostly being highway. And now it's almost at 200. Like 8 months later, it gets driven a lot. It starts every day. 2 issues I had with it is the factory coolant reservoir blew up, but that's like, it's really old plastic.
It's only due to age. It's not like...
And what was
the heater core thing?
Oh yeah, my secondary air heater control valve. Like when they fail shut, so you have AC but you don't have heat. And what that does is it allows you to run the heater when the car's off in the wintertime. So I mean, it's just things with age. Obviously, it's a '98. Some things are going to be a little outdated and worn out, especially plastic rubbers, like window seals. Those still need to be done on that car. Yeah. You don't really hear the windows. It's just very ugly. Yeah,
it's a used car though, and when you're buying the used car, you also have to take into account the age of the car. So you're not going to find something that's perfect. Guaranteed, if you're buying something over 7, 8, 9, even older, it's not going to be a perfect car unless it's been restored or if it's been well maintained. But even then, they have their love marks. I mean, they've been through a lot.
Another thing, sometimes you'll be able to find a car with some issues, and most people just are scared of that. But if you get it for a good enough price, you might as well get it and have the money that you saved.
Yeah.
Instead of getting a car without the issues, do the repairs, and you'll still be better off.
Yeah, I mean that's another thing. So like Armando said, if you get like Armando said, you could buy a car that has a slight issues. You do the mechanical work yourself if you're capable of it, or if you have a friend or family mechanic, something, and you can save yourself a lot of money. But you always have to weigh that option.
Of course.
Do you want to tear into the car?
Of course, obviously.
And there's always the chance of when you tear into the car, when you go to do one maintenance item, you're going to find 5 more, and then you just snowballed into a car that you're trying to just drive.
Right, yeah. And I mean, in this scenario, how can you say this? Me and Matt were very against touching the car.
Yeah, yes.
Like, paint-wise, we will show you a paint correction process and a ceramic coating process on it, absolutely. As far as taking the whole fucking front clip off and doing the timing belt and then pulling a transmission, fuck that.
We've done that too many times. It's a car I want to drive. I don't want to work on it. I don't want to touch it. Yeah, I just want it to go from point A to point B and go great. We'll buy other project cars and work on other cars.
We're definitely,
It's not the end of working on cars, but it's the end of working on something I'm driving every day.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have a Ratchet Clicks project car. We haven't really thought of what to do yet.
We've gotten ideas in almost every
Actually,
aspect.
since we're here, you guys give us ideas. How about this, Ratchets? It needs to be kind of stupid.
Unique.
Unique in the stupid sense. It needs to make 1,000 horsepower. Not the car itself, but put an LS and then it makes 1,000 horsepower.
Whatever you decide.
Or whatever, like a built RB, something crazy, right?
I will go crazy. Flathead motor.
And then the whole reason behind the car is somebody has to look at it. Oh, alright.
Shit.
Damn.
Ooh, that was bad.
What the fuck just happened up
There's a truck there. Yeah, it's bad.
People falling asleep on the wheel. People. This is like side, but when you're driving, why the fuck do most people in the state, not most people, I apologize for that, a lot of people just don't give a shit about their driving.
Nope.
On the highway. you'll see minivans doing 120 1 minute, and the next minute on the far right lane doing 55.
Yeah.
Just drive constantly the same pace.
Oh, it'll make traffic flow smoother.
Good
But
God,
I mean,
we almost
hazard
died.
reported ahead.
Right, yeah, it tells you like that.
Listen to your GPS.
So it needs to,
Yeah.
somebody would have to look at the car and say why. Like, why would somebody build this?
Yeah.
You know, that those are the criteria of the car we're looking at.
And it has to be a used car. Hey.
Yeah, of course, not new. Fuck that.
Yeah.
But it needs, and maybe we'll sell it off to
Sell
one
it,
of you guys, or
raffle.
maybe we'll sell it, or maybe we'll just fall in love and end up keeping it, because I get attached to cars real easy. Like, as
too.
much as I want to sell my 7 Series, my girlfriend really likes it, my parents really like it,
Everybody likes it.
everybody really likes that car. So
I hope everybody, if any of the viewers go to look for a car, I hope you have George's luck with that car.
yeah, I got that car for essentially free.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a trade. A guy was going to sell the car for $1,500, which was way too cheap for that car to begin with, to pay for me to do a paint correction and a coating on his car. And instead, I said, hey, how about we switch? And I have a deal. It was actually Matt's idea for me to even bring that up to
That's
him.
what you meant to trade. You trade
Trade,
the car
yeah.
for the service.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of my other friends. I was like, hey, I know your dad's trying to sell it. Oh. But he also wants to have his Touareg or Tigran or what?
Take it around.
Tigran, no,
His
Touareg.
Touareg. It's a V10
His-
diesel Touareg.
Yeah, his Touareg coated, but I was like, he's selling this car for the same price as a coating.
Right.
Why don't we just do a trade? You know, it's a
Yeah.
better
Why
deal
don't
in
you
the
grab
end.
the duct tape, please? Grab the duct
Plus,
tape from the back. And
He now knows the owner. The owner always asks, or the previous owner always asks me how the car's doing.
Yeah, and we also send
Yeah,
him pictures.
we
and
send him
all that.
pictures. We'd let him know. Like he knows the car's in good hands, so that was part of the deal too. But we really
Duct
doing
tape,
duct
kids.
tape?
That's how you keep the camera on. We do this for you guys. I would never, ever drive a car without a seatbelt on.
Here's
But
another.
for you guys.
Here's another tip, people. These guys don't, but I do this. I have a bag in my car with a lot of tools that even if some, like, I don't know, I have spark plugs, I have everything. I have WD-40, duct tape, everything.
Zip ties.
Zip ties.
Oh, zip ties.
Yeah,
zip
zip
ties would be better for this.
He has Allen keys.
I have a whole like tool bag, like a whole setup for worst case scenario. Something happens, some fixable happens on the side of the road, and I can just fix it and get on the way.
You know what I got for emergencies? AAA.
Speaking of AAA, you only get 3 calls a year, which is bullshit. And I use
depends
all
on your
3
package,
of
I
them.
think.
No, I have the best package.
He's got the S4 package.
I have the S4 towing
V5
package. You can't
S4.
beat that shit. But yeah, guys, I mean, when looking at a used car, just consider your options. You know, consider the interest rates. Also, I mean, with the used car, it's kind of tricky. But consider how much money you will lose over the miles you put on it. Because if you can come on the upside when you sell the car, and let's say you lost $2,000 on it over 4 years, take the $2,000 hit and move on.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Like I might not keep this car that we're going to look at right now, this S8, for 5 years.
No, you're probably not.
Probably not. I'll sell it, but if I were to flat out go buy a Honda Accord, I'd be paying $4,000 for the car. Whereas I could be driving an S8 and in 4 years sell the car and have only paid $3,000. I'm getting a heck of a lot more of a car. And that's another great thing about buying used cars is
Absolutely.
you can get things that may have never been in your price range, but you may have not considered that because you thought it was never in your price range.
Now, the one thing though, even though you might be buying an $8,000, $60,000 car, a lot of times the parts for them are still $60,000 car prices. Like
Yeah.
my S4, for example, because the used market on that is so fucked up, it's not even funny, and it drives me crazy, even though I'm not considering selling the car ever. You can go pick up a B5 S4, 2000 S4 V6 twin turbo for about $3-4 grand online. That car right there is going to take $4 to $5 grand for you to even drive it, maybe 3 months out of the whole year. And you know, the parts are not cheap. Like, it's not cheap. The 7 Series compared to my S4, it's like I'm paying parts for a Honda Civic.
There's a saying when you buy for people who buy used BMWs. If you can't afford for a used BMW 7 Series, I apologize. If you can't afford a brand new 7 Series, you can't afford a used one. And it only goes because like parts, well, OEM parts
OEM
are
parts, yeah.
extremely expensive.
Yeah.
I got for Rock Auto. Shout out to
Yes,
Rock Auto.
shout out to Rock Auto.
And like,
Please send us some free stuff.
and like, for example, that heater valve control unit that went wrong in my 7, that part was would have been like $400 brand new. Used on eBay, they were like $200. So I bought a used one with little miles on them because if it fails again, I'll just buy another used one, and it is what it is. It's, yeah, parts can get expensive for those cars. So you know, if you're trying to do timing belt service on an S8 and you don't know how to take the front clip off and set the timing and have the timing bar, like the timing bar alone, I think on ECS is like $300.
Plus the 500 just in parts for that motor.
Right, the pumps, the
Yeah.
pulleys, idlers, the
It's
accessory
ridiculous.
belt, blah blah. It adds up.
Hence why this one's already done, and why I'm going to get this car because it's had those already done.
Absolutely.
So you want to do a recap? We're in like 17 minutes.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Quick recap. When buying a used car,
Have your loan ready, have your payment ready, check your maintenance records, make sure the car's maintained well, well kept, no issues, no body damage, nothing that you don't want to deal with unless you want to deal with it.
And you just do a lot of research.
yeah, do your
research.
Do a
homework.
lot
yeah.
of research. It doesn't
Yeah.
hurt to look online. Just Google stuff.
Consider your options. You can always say no to a car unless you're really in a pinch.
Yeah. I know this is a recap, but that's the other thing. Never be afraid to walk away from a car. If in your heart it feels wrong, listen to your gut, walk away.
Yep.
Yeah, if after you've driven used cars and you've been around cars for a while, you have a feeling when a used car is a good car or a bad car, and then you know to walk away, and you know it's a waste of your day. It's a waste of your day.
All right. Well, Ratchets, that's it for now. We will see you next time. Subscribe below, like below, comment below. Talk to us. Let us know about the project car. We really want to hear your thoughts about that. Also, if we missed anything that we can cover in a later video, because we'll buy other used cars, let us know about that too.
And we're gonna link all our Instagrams and all that
Yep.
good stuff down
Yep.
below.
At Armando Ciccani, at Slam Sedan, at G Polo, spelled
With two
funny.
O's. And that's it, guys.
Till
So
next time.
Armando's gonna leave you
Next
off.
time.
All right, never mind. Till next time.